The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the human delegation entered. 12 species represented, all watching with barely concealed disdain as 5 humans took their assigned seats. The Terran Alliance was the newest addition to the interstellar community, and many considered them a primitive curiosity at best. Admiral Elizabeth Hart sat straight-backed among her colleagues, ignoring the whispers. At 53, she was Earth's most decorated military strategist, chosen specifically for this diplomatic mission. Her silver-streaked hair was pulled into a tight bun, her uniform immaculate. 30 years commanding Earth's United Defense Forces had taught her patience. Emperor Voss of the Eldarian hegemony rose from his ornate throne at the head of the chamber. His species stood nearly 9 feet tall, with iridescent scales and multiple eyes that blinked in sequence. The council recognizes the human delegation, he announced, his translator conveying his barely masked contempt. We shall now discuss your petition for expanded colonization rights in the Orion sector. Thank you, Emperor, Elizabeth replied, her voice steady. The Terran Alliance requests permission to establish settlements on 3 uninhabited planets within our current territorial boundary. Laughter rippled through the chamber. A representative from the Medusan Concordat leaned forward, tentacles writhing in amusement. The humans wish to expand before they've even mastered basic gravity manipulation, the Medusan said. Perhaps we should let them play with their toys. Elizabeth's expression remained neutral as the council members continued their mockery. This wasn't the first time Earth had been treated as a galactic joke. Despite humans developing faster than light travel independently and establishing a unified planetary government, the older species viewed them as children playing at civilization. Emperor Voss raised a clawed hand for silence. The council has deliberated on your request. It is denied. Furthermore, we have determined that your current colonial holdings should be reduced. The Eldarian hegemony will be assuming control of the Proxima Centauri system, effective immediately. The human diplomats beside Elizabeth exchanged alarmed glances. Proxima Centauri was humanity's first extrasolar colony, home to over 3 million people. That system was granted to us by treaty 5 years ago, Elizabeth stated calmly. Your declaration constitutes an act of aggression against sovereign human territory. Emperor Voss leaned forward, his multiple eyes focusing on her. And what will your primitive species do about it, Admiral? Your technology is centuries behind ours. Your weapons are toys compared to Eldarian might. Accept this ruling gracefully, and perhaps we will allow your colonists to evacuate before we claim what is rightfully ours. Elizabeth stood slowly, her gaze unwavering. The chamber grew quiet, not from respect, but from curiosity at what this insignificant human might say. Emperor Voss, I came here as a diplomat, but I speak now as the supreme commander of Earth's combined military forces. Her voice carried clearly through the vast chamber. For 3 years, we have endured your condescension. We have accepted unfair trade agreements. We have watched our ships be harassed. We have been patient, hoping to earn our place among the stars through peaceful means. She placed both hands on the table, leaning forward. But if you move against Proxima Centauri, if you threaten a single human life, you will discover something your intelligence reports apparently failed to convey. Her eyes narrowed. Humans have spent thousands of years perfecting the art of war against ourselves. What do you think we can do to an enemy that underestimates us so thoroughly? Emperor Voss hissed in amusement. Is this a threat, Admiral? No, Emperor. It's a promise. Elizabeth's voice was ice. You mock our technology, but you've never faced an enemy who evolved on a death world, who thrives on challenge, who turns disadvantages into strengths. You want war, then war it is. The chamber erupted in derisive laughter. 3 weeks later, no one was laughing. The Eldarian fleet that entered the Proxima Centauri system, expecting an easy victory, found something else entirely. Human ships, far smaller than their Eldarian counterparts, swarmed like insects, too fast and numerous to target effectively. Quantum entanglement disruption fields, technology that humans weren't supposed to possess, disabled Eldarian targeting systems. From her command ship, Elizabeth directed the defense with calculated precision. She had spent decades studying theoretical warfare against technologically superior enemies. Now, theory became devastating reality. Their retreating admiral, her executive officer reported, barely containing his excitement. 3 dreadnoughts destroyed, the rest falling back to the jump point. Elizabeth nodded. Broadcast on all frequencies, including the Galactic Council Emergency Channel. She stood before the communication array, facing not just the retreating Eldarians, but the entire watching galaxy. This was a demonstration, Emperor Voss. A single human battle group against your elite fleet. Her voice was calm, professional. We did not pursue your retreating ships. We did not target your civilian vessels. We showed restraint, something your empire clearly lacks. She paused, letting the silence weigh. The Terran Alliance hereby declares the entire Sol system and all currently inhabited human worlds, including Proxima Centauri's sovereign territory. Any incursion will be met with the full force of human military response. We came to your council seeking peace and cooperation. Instead, you chose contempt. Elizabeth's expression remained composed, but her eyes burned with intensity. We will not start a galactic war, but make no mistake, we will finish one. The transmission ended, leaving stunned silence throughout the council chambers where the emergency broadcast had interrupted their session. 2 days later, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. This time, when human delegation entered, no one laughed. When Admiral Elizabeth Hart took her seat, even Emperor Voss inclined his head in grudging respect. The Terran Alliance's petition for expanded colonization rights passed unanimously.